Hello, listen, have you been thinking about trying to get into the investment game, real estate investment game, trying to find a new rental? Maybe you saw online one of these gurus, shmurus talking about getting started in Section 8 and you wondering, how can I do the same thing? Well, you found the right video. Who am I? I'm Kareem Lewis, your trusted Houston realtor, the one that keeps it real with you, aka Sergeant Sales. And I'm back again, hot topic, Section 8 rental investing. Truths, falsehoods, right? Go ahead. If you haven't already, go ahead and like, subscribe, share, follow, help me, help you, help us. Let's get into it. Section 8 rentals, right? Is this truly the play that they're saying, right? So now when you talk about rentals as a whole, right? When you look at the market right now, right? You hear a lot of negativity that's out there, right? You hear a lot about, people charging too much for rent. It's hard to find affordable housing, this, that, and the third. And so a lot of people been saying, I want to answer that call. I want to be able to give out or be able to set up more affordable housing for people that have lower incomes or maybe need vouchers. You know what I'm saying? In which, for some people, that's why they think of Section 8 rentals, going ahead and buying a home to set up Section 8 rentals. Or some just say, man, I'm trying to get money because I hear the profit margins are outrageous, right? So with Section 8 rentals, right, the pros and the cons. The pros about Section 8 rentals are, one, unlike a regular rental, like if, you find somebody, they lease, they pay their deposit, they pay, if something, God forbid, another COVID happened, a lot of people, they lost their jobs, they couldn't work, and you had people that had excellent credit. All of a sudden now, their credit shot down because when you ain't got money, you're not going to be able to pay anything. Likewise, one of the main things that didn't get paid was rent. And so one of the pros with Section 8 rentals is the fact that your money is guaranteed by the government, which if the government can't pay no money, you already know we into some hard times. Your payments always come on the first, which is always a good thing, Two, the second part is you can feel good about helping people, to get into good homes, especially if you're not a slumlord, and you actually find nice homes to put people in, that, and you accept the voucher, they can get in. And that's a good thing. That's a win in itself to make you feel good. Now, what's the cons behind it? To me, the con behind it is pricing. Right? A lot of people, again, if you listen to some of these gurus, I see them all the time with their webinars and they $5,000 kits, they out there making it like as soon as you get something, you automatically going to make money. And it's not the case because it's still about the numbers, right? How much you purchase a home for, and then how much you need to put in for repairs, what area you're in, and then what is the Section 8 rental amount for the area. And the reason why I stress this is because I remember here in Houston, I'm a Houston realtor, right? And I remember Section 8, Houston Housing Authority is broken down into tiers. Different areas have different ways that they set up their payment standard. Like you have Harris County Housing Authority, they go by zip codes, whereas Houston, they go by zones, zone A, B, C, and D, right? And so I'm going to just use Houston because it's a little bit easier to use the tiers, right? Tier A, you can kind of imagine what kind of neighborhoods and type of properties that you're going to have versus a D, right? That's kind of obvious, just like the grades, A was always the best grade, D was the worst, right? Or not the worst, but it's just you passing, but yeah. Anyway, I remember, about 2 years ago for a 3-bedroom voucher in Tier A, for the Houston Authority voucher, used to get $3,300 for rent, a landlord. So when you think at the time, regular rentals was going for about 22, 24, and if I could get 33, 34, that's $1,000 more. So it made sense. However, came 2024, 2025, when they came out with that moves voucher that shut it down. Now, where they used to pay 33, now they only paid $2,150 for that same 3-bedroom. So now if I purchase a home with the whole idea, which you had a lot of investors, they purchased a lot of these new homes in the new home communities. And, they was like, oh yeah, I'm about to get the money. And then when you had that big drop off, A lot of people are hurting. So listen, if you one of those landlords that got stuck in the, the Section 8 craze, and you like, man, I'm not making enough money to cover the mortgage, hit me up and I can give you some ways that you can make back your money. But let's get back into the topic. So the key thing with Section 8, when you're buying your home, right, you need to think, first of all, the area that you want to get your home in and what are the rates. And I would say you have to look at the rates historically, right? What it was maybe 3 years ago, what it is now. So you can kind of see if you're in one of them areas where they're going to drop it or they might even increase it, right? I can tell you for Houston, the main reason that they dropped it is because we had such movement. We had so many people porting over their vouchers or moving their vouchers from whatever state they was coming from, places like California, New York, Idaho, they was coming from all over. They still are, and they was pouring over their vouchers. And so at one point you had the waiting list was over 20,000. And so, of course, that should never be. You never should have where you got to wait 3-4 years just to get a voucher. And so Houston was like, yo, we got to, lower the price so that we can put more people into houses because you got so many people transferring over. And so they redid the list. That's why you see the moves voucher now in a lot of places. So I can tell you one key note. If you're in a major city area that has a high traffic of people pouring over, chances are you're going to be in an area that they're going to probably lower that voucher so that they can give out the voucher to more people. So you want to keep that in mind. Likewise, there are places here in the Houston metro, right, that, man, they give some outstanding rates. Them same 33, they still give that. Some give a little bit more for a 3-bedroom. And if you want that secret sauce, you got to hit me up, become a client, and we'll go ahead and get you locked into a property. So hit me up, 346-589-8925, 346-589-8925. We'll get that set up for you. And that's the main things, man. You got to pay attention to what they're paying to see if it's going to make sense for you. Now, with Section 8, it's the type of home that you purchase. So now when you talk about acquiring a property, how you acquire a property. For example, anytime you're buying investment property, you should never buy retail. Okay, I'm going to say this again. Anytime you buy investment properties, you should never buy retail. What's retail? When it's on the market, when it's on the MLS, it's selling for the whatever the fair market value is at the time. Anytime you buy an investment property like that, unless prices, you get the fair market value is way low, like kind of like right now, if you're looking at this video, right now it's February 2026. If you're looking at this video within 3 months, so, it's still a high buyer's market, and a lot of homes, a lot of sellers, they got to discount their homes 10 to almost 50% to make sales in this market, right? So if you're looking to buy retail now might be a good time if you're going to buy retail. But the name of the game, anytime you get an investment property, got to get it off market, okay? That is the secret sauce that I'm going to give for free. Okay, you must buy a property off market, right? If you don't understand what that is, you don't know what it is, hello, you got your trusted Houston realtor, the one that always keeps it real with you, the one that always give you the secret sauce that just told you. Hit me up, 346-589-8925, 346-589-8925, and we can get you plugged in so that you can get the best deal off market, right? So listen, if you have any more comments, questions, anything, feel free to put it in the comment section. Hit me up. Again, call me with the numbers that you see in the profile, and let's get you your next Section 8 property. Kareem Lewis signing out. Till the next time.